Hello, in the third part I'm going to show how you can compress the lectures you recorded and edited. And the goal here is to reduce the size of the file so that the upload onto the server to make them available to the student will be faster, but also any processing that would happen up there. So typically I manage to go from files, raw files after editing that are about half gigabytes, so 500 megabytes for 45 minutes, down to circa 60 megabyte for the same duration. So the tool I'm using is called Handbrake. Handbrake works on Mac, Windows and Linux. It is actually the front end for a very powerful command line tool called FFmpeg, which is able to transcode and resize videos and do a lot of things from any format to basically any other format. It's extremely powerful software. So I will demo how to use the software, and for more advanced users toward the end, or you can also use it using the command line for even faster processing. Alright, so we're going to install Handbrake. So you simply Google for Handbrake, and that should be the first hit. The open source video transcoder available on handbrake.fr. It will detect your operating system and you can click here to download it. It's available for macOS, Windows, Linux. Once Handbrake has downloaded, you only need to open it, launch the application. Here it is. And what you have is a window that opens here, in which you are asked to select the source file, which means the file you want to compress. So you click here, open source. I'm going to take one example here. For example here, yes, video 1 basic, it's a 260 megabyte file. I'll open it. And then there's a bunch of options available, but the only one you need to really worry about is called the preset here. So Handbrake comes pre-equipped with presets for a bunch of different applications. So general application for with settings optimized for Discord, Gmail, Vimeo, and other things for certain kind of device, and so on. So in my experience, going for an option so-called fast 720p 30, which means encoding at a resolution of 700 pixel vertically at 30 frames per second, is totally good here. That's what we select. And the only other thing you need to do is to name the file that will be produced as, so the output, the smaller version. So typically call them same name and call it small. Here you can decide where you want to save that file. So for me it's on the desktop. That's it. And then you can press start. So while this is working, there is a very interesting feature to Handbrake, is the ability to batch process your encoding. Let's say you would have recorded several lectures and would like to compress them all in one go. It's relatively easy. You select each file and the preset as we just did, but instead of hitting play or run, you press add to queue, and this will add the file and its settings to the queue to be processed. And you do that, you move on to the next one, change the name, load the input file, change the name of the output file, add it to the queue, and so on and so forth. And then when you will hit go or start, it will process every single file in the queue independently. So that's what you can probably see here. Here you have a window for the queue. My queue is very simple. There is a single file in there, but if I would have 12 of them, start that in the evening, and the morning after it'll be done. Okay, so while this is processing, I'm going to show you something else. So I put that in the corner. I told you that Handbrake is actually the front end for a tool called FFmpeg. FFmpeg If you Google, it is an open source project hosted on ffmpeg.org. It's, as it says, a complete cross-platform solution to record, convert, and stream audio and video. So what you can download is actually the source code of ffmpeg, and this will run as a command line tool. If you press download here, link to the source code as I just mentioned, but you can also download pre-compiled binaries or executable for Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. Okay, so Handbrake has finished. It just gave me this nice message here, put down that cocktail, and close it. Processing conversion is done. I can quit Handbrake. Now I have a new file on my desktop called Video Basic Small. That's the output. And let's compare the size. So this is the original file. It is 258 megabyte big, and this one is 37 megabyte big. So if we have a quick look at the quality, this was the original. You don't hear the sound, but that's what it will look like. Hop. And here is the slimmed down version. So at least at this resolution and with this screen, there is no or barely any difference in quality, although the file is much smaller. So these are the fundamentals on how to use Handbrake as a GUI for ffmpeg to transcode and compress your videos from large to small, and therefore be able to upload them to the streaming service, which we're going to see in the fourth part of this series. Thank you, and see you soon.